What's happening, good people? How you doing out there? Pray you all are having a good day. Uncool Paranoia here, back at you with another video. I wanted to talk to you guys today about QR codes. And as I was doing a little bit of reading about QR codes, I kind of fell down a bit of a rabbit hole here, and I just had to share it with you guys. So before we get into it, I just want to say thank you for stopping by. Thanks for listening to my video. Thanks for taking the time to take in the information. I hope it encourages you to do your own research. Don't trust me. Go and read about it yourself and see what happens. All right, so let's go. We're going to start here with the QR code. I know you've all been seeing this little doohickey here pop up all over the place for you to scan it. It's on gas pumps. When you go out to eat at restaurants, they're on the tables now instead of having menus because, menus are deadly. Menus are the number one cause of deaths in restaurants. Oh, I can't even say that with a straight face. I'm kidding. Totally. But no, these QR codes are popping up everywhere because this is the beginning of connecting everything into the Internet of Things and storing data and transmitting, messages and stuff like that. So let's do a little reading. So a QR code, abbreviation from quick response code, well, abbreviated from quick response code, is a type of matrix barcode. It's interesting that they describe it as matrix barcode because I honestly feel like that's what we're living in. We are living in the matrix, people. This stuff, sometimes I have to pinch myself like, man, what I just heard, was that for real? Okay, let me continue. I'm babbling. All right, so it is a type of matrix barcode or two-dimensional barcode invented in 1994 by the Japanese automotive company Denso Wave. A barcode is a machine-readable optical label that contains information about the item to which it is attached. In practice, QR codes often contain data for a locator, identifier, or tracker that points to a website or application. A QR code uses four standardized encoding modes: numeric, alphanumeric, byte, binary, and kanji to store data efficiently. Extensions may also be used. Let's see, let's go down a little bit. So the quick response system became popular outside the automotive industry due to its fast readability and greater storage capacity compared to the standard UPC barcodes. I'm sure that wasn't an accident. I'm sure all this stuff is created for a reason. But anyway, applications include product tracking, item identification, time tracking, document management, and general marketing. A QR code consists of black squares arranged in a square grid on a white background, which can be read by an imaging device, such as a camera, and processed using Reed-Solomon error correction until the image can be appropriately interpreted. The required data is then extracted from patterns that are printed in both horizontal and vertical components of the image. Let's see. Well, presented, not printed. Sorry, guys. So it's interesting they picked the colors black and white, duality, Freemasonry, yeah, black and white checkerboard. We understand what this is. If you don't, you can kind of look that up because all of this stuff boils down to the duality world, the spirit world, light versus dark. Energies are at play here. So as I was reading this, something stood out to me. I'm like, Denso Wave. What does Denso Wave remind me of? So I clicked on it. Just to kind of get a little further insight. So DensoWave is a subsidiary that produces automatic identification products, barcode readers and related products, industrial robots, and programmable logic controllers. Then I got to thinking, programmable logic. This kind of sounds like artificial intelligence. All right. They are noted for creating two-dimensional QR code, are a member of the Japan Robot Association, and support the ORIN standard. So this kind of jumped out too, like Robot Association. And I'm like, Wave, what does that remind me? And then it clicked. Then finally, D-Wave. D-Wave quantum computers. That's what it reminded me of. So I'm like, yeah, let's do a little bit of reading about that. You may as well. I mean, we've got time. Let's see. So I pulled it up. D-Wave Systems Incorporated is a Canadian quantum computing company based in Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. D-Wave was the world's first company to sell computers to exploit quantum effects in their operation. D-Wave's early customers include Lockheed Martin, University of Southern California, Google, NASA. Liars. NASA, liars. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Whew, something's in my throat there. Whew, all right, I'm good. And Los Alamos National Lab. In 2015, D-Wave's 2 times quantum computer with more than 1,000 qubits was installed at the Quantum Artificial Intelligence Lab at NASA. Liars. Oh, oh, there goes again. NASA Ames Research Center. Oh, excuse me. They have subsequently shipped systems with 2,048 qubits. In 2019, D-Wave announced a 5,000 qubit system available in mid 2020 using their new Pegasus chip with 15 connections per qubit. Whoa, let me see. D-Wave does not implement a generic quantum computer. Instead, their computers implement specialized quantum annealing. So, who are the key people of D-Wave? Jordy Rose. That just reminded me a few things. So, I just decided to do, a little bit more digging. Let's go a little deeper into D-Wave. Meet D-Wave, our vision and history. D-Wave was founded in 1999. Interesting. May as well be 666. So, what I think is going on here, if you're not quite sure what quantum computing is, I'm going to read a little bit more into it. But before I do that, I just want to kind of give a little bit of my thoughts on this entire event that we're going through, this CV-19 thing. I mean, it is of my personal belief that this CV-19 event we are experiencing is being influenced by the spirit realm, controlled through our physical realm by way of artificial intelligence, quantum computing. I personally believe these quantum computers are running this entire simulation. This entire COVID thing, I think, is being ran by artificially intelligent quantum computers because it's all spiritual. The Bible tells us we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against principalities and powers. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking it is. These people are channeling energies outside of this realm, and this is one reason what made me kind of get to that conclusion. I'm going to show you something here. Let's see. You can literally Google or Scroogle 3 numbers and put COVID cases behind it. And Scroogle will give you all kind of results with that particular number in it. So let's search 275 COVID cases. Just throw a number out there. Like this. Kentucky reports 275 new COVID-19 cases. 275 COVID-19 cases by Allegheny County. Algeria reports 275 new COVID-19 cases. See, look at these articles. All right, so let's try it again. I'm just going to switch the number out. Let's try 315 COVID cases. Let's just scroll down a little bit. State lifts mitigation efforts as it registers 315 new COVID cases. Taiwan reports 315 COVID cases. Look at this. Monroe County reports 315 new COVID cases. All right, let's do one more. I'm telling you, this stuff is ran by a computer. These numbers are not real, folks. Let's do an interesting number. Let's do 666. Come on, you gotta throw 666 in there. You know that's their favorite number. Iowa reports 1 additional COVID-19 death, 666 more cases. Oregon reports 666 new COVID-19. Tunisia reports 666 new COVID-19 cases. So you get it by this point. When this first hit the internet, this is why it started making me believe that this thing could be ran by a computer, by some kind of brain that's working overtime to put people in fear. These numbers are not real. It's all done by some kind of computer in the spirit realm. I'm telling you, gotta be. So let's go back to the D-Wave website. This quote is very interesting. It's on their website. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Max Planck, father of quantum physics. Let's look at D-Wave's vision. Despite the power of today's supercomputers, there are many complex computing problems that can't be addressed by conventional systems. We believe that quantum computing has the potential to help solve some of the most complex technical, scientific, national defense, and commercial problems that organizations face. Let's see. So, from inception, D Wave has focused on following the fastest path to practical, real world applications that deliver consumer value. Today, we offer a full stack of systems, software developer tools, and services to enable enterprises, governments, laboratories, and academic institutions to access power of quantum computing. And I'm going to get to the point here, but all of this stuff connects in. So just hang in there with me, guys. So, D-Wave systems are being used by some of the world's most advanced organizations, including, I mentioned these earlier, but there's a reason why I'm reading this again. Lockheed Martin, Google, NASA, Ames, liars, NASA, liars. Ooh, excuse me, there it goes again. Ooh. All right, Volkswagen, Denso, USRA, USC, Los Alamos National Laboratory, and Oak Ridge National Laboratory. So when I said Denso in the original QR code article reminded me of D-Wave, that wasn't a reach, guys. All of these people are connected. They are. So let's get back to the message at hand here. Yep, that's D-Wave technology. And one other thing on the website I wanted to show you, look at their address. Their address is 3033. You know, they love the 33. 33 is the highest ranking level in Freemasonry that you can reach. I've heard through the grapevine that there could be ones higher than 33, but I don't know. I haven't done research, too much research into that, but you can look into that yourself if you're interested. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting that their address is literally has a 33 on it. This stuff manifests itself on a spiritual level, I'm telling you. So now I'm gonna go back to the D-Wave Wikipedia article. The reason why I mentioned Geordie Rose is because this guy literally said they are channeling the Lovecraftian great old ones. They are interfering with the spirit realm and bringing entities within our realm, within quantum computing. He's going to say it right out of his mouth. I'm going to play this clip for you guys so you can hear this man say it right out of his mouth what they're doing at D-Wave. Since he founded D-Wave, he has a spinoff company now called Kindred. Yeah, Kindred, kinfolk, family. They're all connected, guys. So I just want you to hear this. This is straight out of the horse's mouth. This is no conspiracy theory guy or no ex-employee who got fired or something. No, this is the Geordie Rose, one of the founders of D-Wave Quantum Computing. So I'm gonna just shut my mouth here and just let you listen to it.
My previous company was D-Wave. I'll just show you a couple things. We build what are still the world's only quantum computers that you can buy. And the company, D-Wave, has been doing this. Thanks. I didn't really have much to do with it, but because. So this is one of them. This is one of the processors. And a lot of interesting things happened to me over the years there. I got sent pajamas, a whole bunch of stuff. There's lots of interesting things that happen when you build something like a quantum computer. But just as an aside, because I thought it was funny, one of the interesting things that's happened from the D-Wave story is there's this gigantic conspiracy that's arisen on the internet that goes like this. So D-Wave builds quantum computers.
Hang on, I'm going to pause this just for a second. Oh, look at here. Look who's in the back here. Anthony Patch. Interesting. But yo, they have an innate fear of so-called conspiracy theories. If what we were here discussing wasn't a big deal, or if none of it were true, why do they continue to bring the conspiracy theories up? Like they are so afraid of what we have to say because we're reaching people. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're on to them and they know it. So, okay, I'm gonna be quiet now. Here we go.
The way that they work, if you know how this works, is one of the interpretations is that you tap into these parallel universes and they do computations. Sounds really weird, but what's happened is this idea has been hijacked to describe something called the Mandela effect, which is this thing where the past changes. So think about something you know to be true from the past, and then imagine you went out on the internet and you can't find it at all. It's not there. It doesn't match with your experience. So these people think that DA is responsible, and CERN. And of course, the quantum key to the abyss factors into it somehow. I'm not exactly sure how. Okay, so that's just D-Wave. I did that for about 15 years. It was a lot of fun. A big science project that we turned into a commercial entity. That was a warm-up for Kindred. So Kindred is much, much, much more ambitious than D-Wave. And what Kindred is trying to do.
Hang on. Quiet for a second, Jordy. Um, I just want to pause this for a second and just say, wonder if you guys noticed that you saw the years in that last clip. He showed the year 2030. 2030 is so important to these guys. Agenda 2030 is fed into everything. All of this is connected. So I just wanted to point that out.
Is build real AI. So what you've heard about AI is not what we mean by AI. What we mean by AI is a software system that can do literally anything that a human can do. Literally anything. And obviously, computers are better at things than people in lots of different ways. So now imagine, not only can they do everything that a human can do, but they can do everything that the best human at any task could do better than them. So imagine there was the mental Olympics of the 100-meter dash, and Usain Bolt is the fastest person. Now imagine that's some kind of a mental thing, like writing a novel or writing whatever. Imagine now that the thing is so much faster than Usain Bolt, like, for example, it's a spaceship, yeah? It's still doing the same thing, but it's doing it so much better because we're limited, because we're people. So what Kindred is trying to do is solve this problem. How do you build machines that are better than people at everything? Now, there's a mental block that we have here when we think about this. Because when you think about that, one of your questions might be, for example, what are the applications of this? So imagine this. Imagine for $10, let's say, I could build a machine, like a little robot that had fingers and eyes and all that. And it could do your job better than you, no matter what it is. And I could sell that to your employer for, say, $15 and make a profit instead of having to pay you $100,000 a year. Now, imagine that was true for every single job. So that's what we're talking about here, is a complete and utter transformative change that of the likes of which has never been seen before in the history of humanity, making the Industrial Revolution look like a little tiny blip on the path that humans have taken from when we emerged from the ooze a few billion years ago. We are right on the verge of that transition now. So this guy, Rich Sutton, is one of the most famous people in the academic world of AI. And like many, when asked, when will this happen? He says things like this. 25% chance within 13 years of this thing that I'm talking about. You know, when you think about what you read on the news, you know, CNN, BuzzFeed, whatever, they're all kind of the same nowadays. Think about how unimportant that thing is that you're reading if this is true. Yeah? So what does this have to do with aliens? So Sam Harris, who I quite admire, is a very interesting guy, was reciting this parable at a TED Talk that he was giving, and it goes something like this. So say I'm the President of the United States. So I received this message from the heavens. So my microwave dish, my SETI dish, finally captures something. And what it says is, in 50 years, or 13 years, we're coming to your planet. You got to be ready. Now just imagine what would happen if that happened. A super intelligent alien race beamed down a message to all of us Earthlings saying, we're coming July 13th, 2030, and boy, you better be ready because the mothership is landing right on the front lawn of the White House or wherever you wanted to land on that day. The amount of resources that would be marshaled to try to figure out what to do would encompass the whole world. AI is just like that. So when this thing that I'm talking about happens, it's going to be exactly the thing that you're thinking about those super intelligent AIs. So the one thing I can tell you is they're not going to be like us. So alien means, you know, different. These things that we're building are not going to be people. They might be really smart, they might be really good at all sorts of different things, but they're not going to be like us. They're going to be aliens. And they're going to be, I'm sorry to say, way smarter than every single person in this room in ways that we can't even comprehend. So this, of course, triggers a lot of alarm. One of the guys who talks about this is Elon, who says things like this, like, when you do this, beware, because you think, just like the guy in the stories, that when you do this, you're going to put that that little guy in a pentagram, and you're going to have your holy water out, and you're going to wave it at the thing, and by God, it's going to do exactly what you say and not one thing more, but it never works out that way. So this is an attitude that some are having, this emerging alarmism about the way this is going to go. But these words, demons, doesn't capture the essence of what's happening here. I don't know if any of you are turn of the century weird fiction fans, but there's this guy named H.P. Lovecraft, who's a very famous American weird fiction author. And he espoused a view which is called cosmicism. And the essence of cosmicism is cosmic indifference. So what he was saying is basically, yes, there are these massively intelligent entities out there, but they're not good, they're not evil. They just don't give a shit about you even in the slightest. The same way that you don't care about an ant is the same way they're not going to care about you. And these things that we're summoning into the world now are not demons, they're not evil, but they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones. There are entities that are not necessarily going to be aligned with what we want. So this transition is really, really massively important for our entire species to navigate. And going back to that thing that Sam Harris was saying, nobody is paying attention. This thing is happening in the background while people bicker about politics and what's going to be in the healthcare plan in the US. And underneath it all is this rising tsunami that, if we're not careful, is going to wipe us all out. So, on that pleasant note, we're hiring people to try to make something like this happen.
Yeah, and then they sit there and laugh about it. This guy literally just said they are summoning. Summoning. Interesting word. If they're not demons, then why would you use the word summoning? Yeah, summoning. The Lovecraftian great old ones. Sounds like fallen angels to me. And I wanted to show this because all of this stuff connects. Now, as of right now, the mainstream media and most major programming is implanting the idea of some sort of coming alien invasion. And these are not beings, I'm telling you guys, these are not beings from another planet. Aliens are interdimensional, spiritual beings, fallen angels, and they are not your friend. He clearly just said it. He clearly just explained to you what these beings are. They are summoning them. And I just noticed his shirt has an Ouroboros on it. That is a serpent eating its tail. I mean, come on, guys. Who do we know is the serpent? Yeah, this stuff is spiritual. In most truther channels, kind of they try to ignore this the spiritual aspect, but it's there. It's there. You can't ignore it. It all leads back to the Bible. All of this stuff. So now he's recruiting for it. He's talking about he's hiring. I'm going to play a few more seconds of this, and then I'm going to explain a couple more things.
And of course, this is a very difficult project, of course. And I'm kind of a little bit tongue in cheek about all this, like, how bad things are, because it's not really like that. There's technology is a double-edged sword, even something like this.
Yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword. I wanted to pause on this screen. This is Kendra's mission. Kendra's mission is to be first to human level AI. We are hiring demonologists, software engineers, but they scratch out demonologists. They like to present this stuff in front of you as a joke. As a joke. And this is crazy. And I just noticed Paula kind of looks like a man, don't you guys think? Interesting. And this kind of looks like Joe Biden's health minister, the man lady. Uh, doesn't it? Interesting. But yeah, that's Jordy Rose. They just told us what they are doing. They are summoning the Lovecraftian great old ones. But he mentioned a particular name during this presentation, H.P. Lovecraft. So let's look him up. Who is this guy? Why are they influenced by H.P. Lovecraft? Here he is. They're going to pull him up on Wikipedia here. Howard Phillips Lovecraft was an American writer of weird and horror fiction who is known for his creation of what became known as the Cthulhu mythos. Crazy stuff. So let's see. Da-da-da-da. I brought him up because he's pretty interesting. Let's see. These people do not believe in God. And they don't mind telling you. Because you see, Jordy just said we emerged from the ooze. All of this stuff is a war on God. And to, discourage you from believing in God. That's what all this stuff is. And I'm looking for a page here that I found. Oh, here it is. These people openly let it known. Let it be known what they believe in. So Lovecraft was an atheist. His viewpoints on religion are outlined in his 1922 essay, A Confession of Unfaith. In this essay, he describes his shift away from the Protestantism of his parents to the atheism of his adulthood. Yep, very interesting stuff. And let's check this out. I think it was another. Where's his influence? Something else I found. Oh, yeah, here we go. Themes: forbidden and indescribable knowledge. Let me see. Forbidden, dark, esoterically veiled knowledge is a central theme in many of Lovecraft's works. I'm not going to read all of this because this is a lot of stuff. This stuff goes on and on about this crazy stuff. But the point of me bringing him up is H.P. Lovecraft. It reminded me of something. This is how all this stuff connects. H.P. Lovecraft reminded me of ding 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 Lovecraft Country. I'm not sure if you've heard of Lovecraft Country, but this is a show, popular show that's on HBO. Lovecraft, love, witchcraft. I mean, we've already determined that they're summoning beings. The guy that they're influenced by, it was an atheist, occultist, and here we are. Here's a show, Lovecraft Country, that's been running on HBO. I brought this page up because this is interesting too. The ending theme of the show is called Sinnerman. People, the chaos and the issues that we're seeing in this world is because of sin. Sin is the problem. Sin is what's running rampant in this world. Sin is not going to be cured by any kind of jab. Anything that they offer us on television or through healthcare is not going to cure sin. The only one who's going to help that is our let's see. I'm a little tongue twisted here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the only person that's going to help sin, that has defeated sin, is Yeshua. Period. Is our mediator. Yeshua is our mediator between the Father. The only way to the Father is through the Son, Yeshua. He shed his blood for sin. So let's check this out. I just wanted to give you a little insight on how creepy Lovecraft Country is. Look at this. This is the main cover work for Lovecraft Country. Love, witchcraft. What the heck is that thing? They just pretty much put it out there. So one other thing I found about Lovecraft Country, you see how this dude, he is known for his creation for the Cthulhu mythos. They showed that thing in Lovecraft Country. I looked it up. Cthulhu rises in first official trailer for Lovecraft Country. Look at that thing. That is awful. Witchcraft just right in your face. And they present it in such a way where they want it all cool, nice, and sexy, and blah, blah, blah. But there it is. That's what this stuff is about. Television is poison, it's programming. It is to pull you down. That's their goal. Satan does not want to go to hell by himself. He wants to take as many people with him, along with his fallen angels. So that's what all this stuff is leading to. And one other thing Jordy mentioned during his presentation is CERN. CERN is a particle accelerator that's located in Switzerland. This thing, well, to the public, they like to say they are trying to recreate the Big Bang. They are, it's a particle accelerator. They are smashing particles together, trying to find dark matter or whatever they're doing. But they like to tell us that they're trying to recreate the Big Bang, which is another lie from the pits of hell. But anyway, I'm gonna bring up CERN here. I want to show you something very interesting about CERN. Look at that particle accelerator. Now, I believe what they're doing at CERN, they're trying to open the bottomless pit that's spoken of in the book of Revelation. CERN bends realities, and this is all you need to know about CERN. Look right here in the upper left-hand corner of their website. What does that look like to you? Their logo is literally 666. It's three sixes in their logo. That is CERN. All of this stuff connects. It's deep, you guys. So I'm going to end this video off with a little sprinkle of something interesting I found in this QR code article. I don't know if anybody has mentioned this before, but I thought I'd mention it because it's very interesting. When I scroll down here, look at this right here. What are we dealing with right now with this CV-19 thing? They're keeping this thing going because of so-called variants. Variants. So these are the different types of QR codes. Look at this one. This one is called the jab code. What is the slang term that we use to call a vaccination? We can't really say the word for reals, algorithms. We call them jabs. These people have created a version of the QR code called the jab code. And just to sprinkle a little more humiliation and mockery on top of it, it's made with all the colors of the rainbow. How fitting for me to discuss this during Pride Month. Ah, aren't we so proud to be who we are? Not only did they mock the rainbow, which is God's covenant that he will not flood the earth again. That is God's promise to us. That's what the rainbow is. The rainbow was hijacked. Not only did they hijack it for pride, which is a sin, uh, they're naming this thing the jab code. And it's all colors of the rainbow. Jab code, just another barcode, is a color 2D matrix symbology. You see, this verbiage that they're using is so interesting. Symbols rule the world, not words nor laws. We're literally living in the matrix. They literally call these things matrix symbology. Made of colorful square modules arranged in either square or rectangle grids, developed by Fraunhofer Institute SIT, Secure Information Technology. All this stuff is about storing information, giving you access. If you're a good little boy and girl, you know, if you're following the beast system, you're going to be grafted into this beast system. But no, you and I, if you believe in the Father's, Yeshua's shedding of his blood, you're grafted into the Holy Spirit. So we're not going to be grafted into this crap. So jab code contains one primary symbol and optionally multiple secondary symbols. So let's see, I'm not going to get into all of this, but here we go. The barcode is not subject to licensing and was submitted to ISO standardization as ISO 23634, expected to be approved at the beginning of 2021 and finalized in 2022. This stuff is fairly recent. This is fairly recent. That's because everything they're working on is coming to a head. It's all culminating to, I'm not quite sure how they're going to play this narrative out, but as you heard Jordy Rose say, the alien invasion is coming, which are interdimensional beings, fallen angels. Do not fall for the alien invasion. It is coming. Supposedly, they're supposed to be releasing some kind of UFO information dump this month. Interesting. But the craziest part about all of that is the UFO disclosure was written into the CV-19 care bill signed by Joe Biden. Or was it signed by Donald Trump? I don't know. I could be wrong. You guys can let me know in the comments. I can't remember right now. But yeah. So I just wanted to sprinkle that on top of it, just a little Pride Month here with little rainbow. But yeah, can you believe this thing is called Jab Code? That is crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Because yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that spun into further research, but I'm telling you guys, look this stuff up yourselves, do your own research. But that's all, folks, man. Just be the change you want to see, and just pray. Pray without ceasing, guys, because this stuff is getting crazy. But this is Uncool Paranoia, and I am out.